Happy New Year. Yes. I'm also glad to see your faces. And I'll start off this year with this story. Say you got a job. Someone gets you to help him or her do a job or employs you. In fact, let's go that way. You get a new employment, and in the course of getting employed, you have a meeting with your to-be boss, and you discuss how much you get paid, you discuss what the job is going to entail, and both of you shake hands on the matter. And then you resume. First case scenario, you come to the job and you do all that the job requires for you to do. You carry out the tasks that have been assigned to you, and you do just that. The tasks that have been assigned to you, and that alone, nothing more, nothing less. And let's say your boss decides to do the same thing. She pays you exactly what you have agreed to be paid. Nothing more, nothing less. She pays you what you should be paid, and she doesn't owe you anything else. And of course, because she doesn't owe you anything else, she doesn't pay you anything else. And then that world you live in starts to get smaller and keeps getting smaller. Let's play out another scenario. The second case scenario is a scenario where you come to this job and then you look around you and you figure out that regardless of how hard they try, this business is never going to be able to pay you what you are worth. And then you look around you and there is a lot of stuff to be done aside the job that you have been paid for. And then you decide to bring your genius to work. You decide to put in more than you have been paid for. You decide to work hard. You decide to give a gift. You decide to give the gift of yourself, not just to your boss, but to the organization. Not just to the organization, but to the people that you are serving. Not just to them, but to your colleagues. You decide to give and give and give. And you know why I call it a gift? Because you cannot be paid for it. You cannot be paid enough for it. You know why I call it a gift? Because there is little chance, you aren't even sure if this work you are doing will be rewarded. But nevertheless, you keep on giving this gift. And then what happens is that you see a job that should be done, you pick it up and you do it. You see a job that nobody has even figured out, but you know that this should be done. You pick it up and you do it. And then over time, your madam, let's say this is your employer, she figures out that you are just the person that can be depended on, that you are just that is just in your nature to keep doing. You know what happens? After a while, she starts leaving things for you to do. The things that she would have done, she knows fully well that if this girl comes around this job, she's going to just get it done. She starts leaving things. And then the space that you occupy, the space of your influence starts to grow. The things, the work that is your job description starts to expand. And then one day she says, you know what? You are the manager. You are in charge. I don't have to look at it if you have done it. But that's not all. You continue. And then, after a while, she gets lazy. She stops supervising you. And you continue doing the job. After a while, she says, you know what? You are in charge. But one thing that also happens after a while is that she also does not know how to reward you anymore. Yeah, she loses sight of how to reward you anymore. So let me tell you two or three things that giving does for the giver. The first thing that giving does for the one who is giving is that it makes room for you. It makes room for you to grow. It makes room for you to influence. It widens your surface area, the area from which you can influence. And more importantly, it creates room for you to give more. That's the first thing it does. It makes room for you. In fact, the Bible even says, right, that the gift of a man makes room for them. Okay? So the second thing that giving does is that it bursts identity in you. By the time you start giving and you start doing things for people that they cannot reward you for, over time they start depending on you for some things, and they start depending on you for more things. And one day you are not around and 1, 2, 3 things cannot happen. You see, that gives you power. So the gift births identity for the person that gives it. And finally, for today, gifts for the giver, it births reciprocity. It's very difficult for someone to do something for you and you do not reflexively want to do something back for the person. In fact, it is an auto response that if somebody does something for you, you want to do something back for the person. And so when you decide to give, it births reciprocity. The person you are giving wants to give back, but the world, nature, God wants to give you back. How did the Bible put it? Give and it shall be given unto you. That's not just a command, it's also a law. Okay, so finally for today, I would like to remind you that if it is bargained for, negotiated for, and there is something exactly in return, it is not a gift. What makes it a gift is the fact that you aren't even sure if someone is going to get, to pay you back for what you are doing. That level of uncertainty is what makes it a gift. And once you make it a habit, once you make it part of you to start giving, what is going to happen is that you're going to make more space around you and you will increase in influence. So as we start off this year, women in leadership, let me just tell you that leaders are givers. Until you establish a space from where you can start giving, you cannot lead. So the moment you start giving, the moment room is made for you, the moment somebody is giving back to you, and more importantly, that time is when you can even increase the possibility, the chances of you giving. Happy New Year to you.